90-Day Fiancé star Colt Johnson's life has been filled with dizzying highs and lows, and now he's in danger of losing his leg. The controversial franchise star has never had a heart of gold, but someone would need to be totally heartless to wish Colt ill right now. The threat of an amputation is very serious. He must be having some dark thoughts as Colt deals with a new leg injury. He's already been through so much. This isn't the first time he's hurt himself. Previously, he had a serious accident while bouncing on a trampoline. Both times he was filming. He may feel cursed, as though anything he does to try and earn a living will lead to disaster. Colt is a polarizing figure in the 90-Day Fiancé franchise, but people never cancel him. He's someone they like to watch. When he was injured, Colt was filming in Mexico. As per John Yates at Instagram, he often has reality TV scoops. Colt may have to endure a possible amputation. Previously, while filming 90-Day The Last Resort, Colt hurt himself badly. In fact, his injuries were so severe that they made headlines. That first accident underscored just how fragile the human body can be. A split second can change everything, leaving a person very different than they were before. He seemed to heal but retreated from the spotlight, becoming an ersatz Howard Hughes. The gifted entrepreneur became reclusive. Hughes was played by Leonardo DiCaprio in the Martin Scorsese film The Aitor. When Colt began to shun the limelight, it signaled a sea change in his personality. That is what a serious health issue can do. When he began to recover, it seemed like Colt might come back to his fans, and he eventually did. However, he was destined to get hurt again. This latest accident may be even more serious. These types of challenges usually build character, but at what cost? If Colt is facing amputation, he is living with dread and terror. This is terrible. As per the TLC UK at YouTube clip shown above, Colt's ex, Larissa Lima, was a major diva. Her antics showcased an arrogant, greedy, and dominating personality. Picture Miss Piggy in a blind rage to get a sense of Larissa at her absolute worst. While Larissa is a beautiful woman, her ugly qualities rob her of some charm. However, she's still very charismatic. When Colt got involved with Larissa, he was dragged onto a roller coaster. At times, the ups and downs were frightening. Larissa's temper is explosive. In fact, Colt has said that he's usually attracted to women with very hot tempers. That's what he gravitates towards. With Larissa, he really had to duck and cover. Sometimes he couldn't escape her violence and verbal tirades. Larissa loves herself. Anyone who stands in the way of her dreams will pay the price. She may be gentler now at her gold-digging worst. Larissa was occasionally a nightmare, a user consumed with vanity and the desire for expensive possessions. She wasn't a woman who was genuinely in love with a man with his face, his body, and his mind. Instead, he was out for whatever she could get from her partner. That's obviously the opposite of real love. The relationship was wholly transactional, and a sense a hair's breadth from prostitution. However, one's judging Larissa for making the choice she made. No, she wasn't nice. Life in her countries is different, and when people from these nations do whatever it takes to get to America, who can possibly blame them? For example, if someone is living in poverty in the third world, and they choose to find an American partner who makes access to food, shelter, and other things simpler, are they morally wrong to use those people? Colt treated Jess Caroline so badly that she threw a high-heeled shoe at him. Yes, that was wrong, but she was definitely provoked. He strung the red-headed Brazilian along for a while secretly cheating on her. He stepped out of his relationship with Jess so he could sleep with Vanessa, whom he later married. Jess was probably a user too. She may have had an ulterior motive for trying to make things work with Colt. Her most likely motivation was securing a green card. When her relationship with Colt failed, he found a workaround. She married a musician, Ryan Hanvey, and now lives in America. So Colt definitely isn't the only conduit to a goal. He's someone that women have tried to take advantage of. However, he's also played the villain hopefully. His illness will teach him something about life. It's really too short to spend emotionally abusing other people. He needs to learn how to maturely talk to women about problems. He needs to learn how to tell the whole truth if he manages to do these things his entire life will change. Until he does he'll never get anywhere. Vanessa seemed like Colt's true love. He was more bewitched by her than he'd been by anyone else, even the firecracker Arissa. In fact, Vanessa seemed like Colt's dream woman. Vanessa appeared to get along with Debbie, arming a bond with the difficult woman. However, that bond would break. Mother-in-law issues began to tear the two apart, and may have led to the end of Colt's marriage. Colt wanted emotional distance from his mother, and this could be why Debbie isn't exactly alive and let live person. She wants to control everything and everyone. Ultimately, people who are being controlled find ways to rebel. No one wants to be a puppet. Norman Bates had serious mommy issues in the Alfred Hitchcock classic Icon. Colt may be giving that iconic character a run for his money, and the Instagram post above, Abby frolics in Las Vegas and seems like a pretty jolly person. But there's a seamy underbelly with Colt. She was often mean, controlling, and weird. It does make sense that he shrank away from her behavior, which was extremely inappropriate. At times, he may have considered Debbie a monster, just like Larissa considered her a monster-in-law. As a mother, Debbie hovered, but did she unconditionally love her son? Maybe not. He had to follow her rules to remain in her good graces, and the rules were bizarre to keep Debbie happy. He'd basically have to let her run his entire life. Why would anyone agree to that? Her interference in his relationships led to breakups. It may have ruined the relationship that she valued the most, the one with Vanessa. It's good for Colt and Debbie to have their space. They don't need to be like two peas in a pod every day. In time, they may repair the rift. Forgiveness is always possible. However, with space comes perspective. It allows both sides to assess situations accurately and make better decisions. Space can be liberating and healthy. Colt worked hard to change his body. See his thinner face. In the Instagram post shown above, he has lost between 40 and 60 pounds. Since his body makeover is so dramatic, the news of his subsequent injuries is sad. Quite often, when people get sick or injured, they become less fit. They need to lie around more because they're not feeling well, or due to injuries that negatively impact their mobility. Hopefully, Colt will recover completely. It would be awful if he lost his mobility due to the amputation of a leg. Yes, people can move on after such heartbreak. Lots of people with disabilities are happy. However, disabilities do add challenges. Colt's body makeover was impressive on screen. He was shown working out in his garage. He went all out, slimming down dramatically. In the past, he had to deal with bullying when cameras caught him in a Speedo bathing suit. Some people don't know how to accept people who don't look like Barbie and Ken dolls. There was chatter that Colt cheated one more time while he was in his marriage with Vanessa. Based on his history, he may be a serial cheater. Larissa accused him of infidelity too. If the gossip about Colt being unfaithful to Vanessa is true, he really ruined his marriage. Surrendering to the heat of the moment is often a mistake. People aren't robots. Sometimes they behave badly but believe they're following their hearts. If Colt destroyed his marriage, he's not the only one. At sometimes, letting a bad relationship die is the smartest strategy. Maybe when there's infidelity, it's a sign that things just aren't right. There are relationships without these types of issues. Not everyone is a cheater. Colt may do better in non-monogamous relationships. Why pretend to be a good guy when he just isn't? Instead, Colt can feel free by admitting that he just can't be faithful. He can date people who can't be faithful either. Then, life might actually be fun for a change. Colt seemed heartless when he decided to move out of the home he shared with his mother and find greener pastures. There was an expensive lease which Debbie would be left with. However, despite the financial entanglement, it was probably best for the two to part ways. They'd had happy moments, such as when Debbie would make Colt his favorite foods. She even cut up his meat. However, all was not sunshine and roses. The two were simply too close. Colt couldn't really live his own life. At some point, a mother has to step back and let their child live 90. Day Fiancé is Colt is a troubled soul who will hopefully be happier someday. His health issues are serious, and his marriage is over, but there is always hope with a positive mindset. Colt can overcome so much pain and heartache when he focuses on choosing happiness. He'll be on the right track. It's not always about finding a partner or whatever. it can just be cultivating a strong sense of self. Partnered or not, Colt has a lot of potential, and hopefully, he'll get the chance to achieve all that he can.